Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda
Jaya Jaya Sri
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda
चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome dear devotees to today's Chaitanya Charitamrita session. We'll continue reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 13, the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. So we were reading the condition of Navadvip just before the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So first of all, uh, the Lord's superiors, seniors, like his parents, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, they all had appeared. And also in Radha Desh, we saw Nityananda Prabhu appeared, other devotees appeared. Then the devotees would gather in Advaita Acharya's home. They would discuss Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And Advaita Acharya would be he was the leader. He would be the one speaking and establishing devotional service as the king, right? The supremacy of devotional service over karma, jnana, and everything else. But Advaita Acharya was also feeling, although they were experiencing great joy, the devotees were in ecstasy amongst themselves, but they were feeling, especially Advaita Acharya was feeling pained in his heart to see that the people, the materialistic people, were not taking to devotional service. They were just absorbed in their material acquisition and sense gratification. So Advaita Acharya, out of compassion, he was thinking, he was started to contemplate how to deliver these foolish people. And then he came to the conclusion, it is only possible when Krishna himself comes. Just like a condemned person, someone uh, who is punished, who is in the prison, and he is supposed to undergo some capital punishment. He can be released by the king. If the king pardons, then he can release him. Similarly, Krishna, the Supreme King, if he comes, only then the people of Kali Yuga are the most condemned people. You see, Kali Yuga people are like the people at the bottom of the barrel. All the cream you'll find in the top. In Satyayuga, you'll find all the good people, advanced people. As time passes by, you come to Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and finally to Kali Yuga. All the advanced people have already, they've gone to better destinations. But in Kali Yuga, you find all the degraded people. Manda buddhi, right? Manda, sumanda matayo, manda bhagya, hyupadrutaha. So they don't take to bhakti. So most unfortunate and dull-minded people. No taste for bhakti. So Advaita Acharya is thinking only when Krishna comes will can these people be delivered? Otherwise, there's no hope for these people. Thinking like this, now Advaita Acharya began to worship the Supreme Lord, Krishna. How? By offering Ganga Jal and Tulsi. And there Srila Prabhupada says, if possible, you use some sandalwood pulp and offer that Tulsi. And there is no better offering than that. In other words, that is sufficient. It's not, yeah. If you offer Tulsi and Ganga Jal, then the Lord is completely satisfied. And loudly Advaita Acharya is calling out to Krishna again and again, again and again. And hearing the calls of Advaita Acharya, Krishna was forced to descend. He was very pleased to descend. So let's see what else we read yesterday. Yeah. With this consideration, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, promising to cause Lord Krishna to descend, began to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges. By loud cries, he invited Krishna to appear, and this repeated invitation attracted Lord Krishna to descend. We also read this. Before the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 8 daughters took birth one after another from the womb of Sachimata, the wife of Jagannath Mishra. But just after their birth, they all died. So what did Jagannath Mishra do? He felt very unhappy. So he, desiring to have a son, he began to worship the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And then he got a son. The son's name was Vishwarup. And who is this Vishwarup? He's actually an incarnation of Lord Balaram. Very most powerful and highly qualified, because he's actually an incarnation of Balaram. The expansion of Balaram, well, I think, yeah, we read this also. The expansion of Baladev, known as Sankarshan in the spiritual world, is the ingredient and immediate cause of this material cosmic manifestation. Yes. So everything is coming from Karanodakashaya Vishnu, right? He is the immediate as well as the ingredient cause. Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana is who? Karanodakashaya Vishnu. Karanodakashaya Vishnu is the expansion of Narayan, from Mahasankarshan, Narayan coming from Mahasankarshan, like that. So, in other words, he is the expansion of Baladev, of Sankarshan. And also, we heard a little bit about Vishwarup, the gigantic universal form known as Vishwarup is also an incarnation of Mahasankarshan. So I told you yesterday, Vishwarup can mean Karanodakashaya Vishnu. In that way, he's an incarnation of Mahasankarshan. Vishwarup can mean Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. He's also coming from Mahasankarshan. Mahasankarshan to Karanodakashaya Vishnu, Karanodakashaya Vishnu to Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. And also, if you take the material form of the Vishwarup, which is born of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, because that's coming from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, that is also an expansion coming from Mahasankarshan. So the gigantic universal form, all of the very word Virat means gigantic, big. All of them are gigantic, all three of them. The Karanodakashaya Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and the material Virata Rupa, they're all gigantic. So the gigantic universal form is called the Vishwarup incarnation of Mahasankarshan. Thus, we do not find anything within this cosmic manifestation except Lord himself. So what is this Virata Purusha? All the material, whatever, the whole cosmic manifestation that you're seeing, that is nothing but the Virata Purusha. And this Virata Purusha is coming from Karanodakashayi Vishnu, who is an expansion of Mahasankarshan. That means whatever you see in this creation is nothing but the Lord himself. It is either him personally, or his personally means his expansion, or his energy, like that. So we didn't read this. So we'll start with text 77 today. Achintadev Prabhu, you're able to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'll just read the Sanskrit. Naita chitram bhagavati yanante jagadishware otam protam idam yasmin tantushvanga yatha pataha. Yes, Prabhu.
Translation. As the threads in a cloth spread both lengthwise and breadthwise, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists directly and indirectly within everything we see in this cosmic manifestation. This is not very wonderful for him.
Purport.
Purport. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.15.35. Thank you much.
Yes, thank you. So to explain how he is the cause of everything, so I gave you the analogy of the pot coming from clay made by the potter. So like that, the Lord is both the Upadana and Nimitta Karanam. So how is it explained? To explain that, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:15-35. As the threads in a cloth spread both lengthwise and breadthwise, that means what is there in the cloth? You don't actually see the threads, do you? When you see the cloth, do you see the threads? Not really, you just see the cloth. But the cloth is nothing but threads only. The thread only running breadthwise and lengthwise. That's the cloth. So similarly, whatever we see is the Lord only. It's like Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. You see like a pearl necklace, inside is the string. You don't see the string, but it is the string which is forming that necklace, like that. So, of course, here the analogy is of a cloth. Cloth is nothing but it's simply made of the thread. You may not see the thread, but it's just the thread. So similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists directly and indirectly within everything we see in this cosmic manifestation. So he's also there directly. It's not that you cannot take it one or the other. You cannot say he's there only indirectly or he's there only directly. He's there both indirectly and directly. That is why Achintya Bheda Bheda. He's there directly as well as indirectly. Indirectly in the form of his material energy. The energy is also him. And directly also he's there as his expansion. He's there as Paramatma. So this is not very wonderful for him. That's the point. Whatever there is him only. That's the point. Atayeva Prabhu Tare Bale Bada Bhai Krishna Bala Rama Dui Chaitanya Nitai. Arunita or Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Because Mahasankarshan is the ingredient and efficient cause of the cosmic manifestation, he is present in every detail of it. Lord Chaitanya therefore called him his elder brother. The two brothers are known as Krishna and Balaram in the spiritual world, but at the present moment they are Chaitanya and Nitai. Therefore, the conclusion is that Nityananda Prabhu is the original Sankarshan, Baladev.
Mahasankarshan is an expansion of Baladev. Yes, we read that already in the earlier chapters. about the expansions of Balaram. Balaram expands into Chaturvyuha in Golok Vrindavan. And from that Sankarshan of Golok Vrindavan, then you get another Chaturvyuha, right? You get Narayan of Vaikuntha. Then from Narayan again there is another Chaturvyuha, like that. And then you have Mahasankarshan. And from Mahasankarshan you have Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is Karanodakashayi Vishnu, like that. So because Mahasankarshan is the ingredient and efficient cause. Ingredient, how ingredient? Prakriti, the material energy, is his energy. So he is the cause of the material energy. An efficient cause, he is the Paramatma for the entire material creation. And then as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, he is the Paramatma of the universe. As Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, he is the Paramatma in each and every living entity, every atom. So he is both the efficient and ingredient cause of the cosmic manifestation. Who? Mahasankarshan. Who is this Mahasankarshan? He is the expansion of Balaram. So Vishwaroop is an expansion of Balaram. So because he is both the ingredient and efficient cause, he is present in every detail of it. Lord Chaitanya therefore called him his elder brother. This part I am not able to understand. If you are able to understand, you can explain. Because he knows every detail of it, Sankarshan knows every detail of the creation, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is calling him, Sankarshan, his elder brother. Out of respect, because he knows everything, you mean. Okay, Isha is saying because out of respect he's considering Mahasankarshan his elder brother because he knows every detail and he's the one who's creating and overseeing everything, like he knows every detail of the creation. So because Srila Prabhupada says therefore, Lord Chaitanya therefore called him his elder brother. And the two brothers are known as Krishna Balaram in Goloka, Dwaraka also, in the spiritual world. And the same Krishna Balaram have now come as Chaitanya Nitai or Gaura Nitai. So the conclusion is that Nityananda Prabhu is the original Sankarshan Baladev because same Baladev has come as Nityananda Prabhu. Next, Arunita. Putra paya dampati hoila anandita mana visheshe sevana kore Govinda charana.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
The husband and wife, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, having gotten Vishnurup as their son, were very pleased within their minds. Because of their pleasure, they specifically began to serve the lotus feet of Govinda.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So this is the nature of devotees, and this is the difference between, you can say, Naradhama and Sakama Bhakta. I mean, I'm not trying to say like that. I just remembered about Sakama. They are not. They are all eternal associates of the Lord, Nitya Siddha devotees. But I'm just saying the nature of a devotee and the nature of a business-minded person, right? He would come to the Lord to ask for something, or you can, let's say, less intelligent, right? Demigod person, like someone who approaches for some material deal, he'll take it and he'll go away, finished. But a devotee, when he gets something, even if he wants something, if he asks the Lord, if he gets it, he will feel so grateful to the Lord. He will only increase his service to the Lord, feeling grateful. So Jagannath Mishra had worshipped Lord Vishnu for a son, and he got Vishwarup. Who is Vishwarup? Lord Balaram himself. And he got Vishwarup. So he was so pleased. Both father and mother, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. Imagine, they lost 8 daughters, one after another. Now they get a son. And what type of a son? The Supreme Lord himself. They were so pleased within their minds. Because of their pleasure, they specifically began to serve the lotus feet of Govinda. Out of their joy, right? So this is how devotees express their joy, by serving the Lord. Purport, Prabhuji, Chatterjee Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There is a common saying in India that everyone goes to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he is in distress. But when a person is in an opulent position, he forgets God. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.16, this is confirmed. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jiggashur artharthi gyani cha bharata shava. If backed by pious activities in the past, four kinds of men, namely those who are distressed, those in need of money, those searching after knowledge, and those who are inquisitive, become interested in devotional service. The husband and wife, Jagannath Mishra and Shachimata, were very unhappy because their 8 daughters had passed away. Now, when they got Vishwarupa as their son, suddenly they became extremely happy. They knew that it was by the grace of the Lord that they were endowed with such happiness and opulence. Therefore, instead of forgetting the Lord, they became more and more adherent in rendering service to the Lord to the lotus feet of Govinda. When a common man becomes opulent, he forgets God. But the more opulent a devotee becomes by the grace of the Lord, the more he becomes attached to the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So we read about these Chaturvida Bhajante Mam. They're actually called Sakama Bhaktas, right? Sakama Bhakta means he has some desire. But nevertheless, he's actually primarily a devotee only. He's not a karmi. Because he's asking something. He's not like a demigod worshipper who goes to the demigods to ask for something. He does some vrata to get something and then after that finished. No, no. They are actually devotees. They are devotees. Their lives are centered around the worship of the Supreme Lord. But nevertheless, whatever desires they have, they have some distress, they go to the Lord, right? Or they want something, they go to the Lord. And when they get, they increase the service more to the Lord. And even if they don't get what they ask for, they don't give up on the Lord. They continue to, because they cannot give up service of the Lord. That is a devotee. That is a devotee. Whereas someone who's not a devotee, a non-devotee, he may approach the Lord like a business deal, like you go to Walmart to buy something, right? You pay money, you get something, and you come off finished. Like that, a person may go to the Lord to ask for something, and after he gets it, yeah, now I got what I wanted, right? They may do this vrata, that vrata to get some result, chaturmas and this and that, whatever, and you get the result, and now enjoy, I got the result. That's not a devotee. Devotee means, of course, in difficulty, he goes to the Lord because the Lord is my only shelter. And if I get, I'm so pleased with the Lord. If I don't get, still I continue to worship the Lord. That's the nature of a devotee. Next. चौदशतच्छयशके शेषमाघमासे जगन्नाथ सचिरदेहे कृष्णेर प्रवेशे. Isha.
In the month of January, in the year 1406 of the Shaka era, AD 1485, Lord Krishna entered the bodies of both Jagannath Mishra and Sachi.
Yeah, so you see, this is what I was saying. See, here it says Shaka 1406, AD 1485. They're so close to each other. See? So Krishna entered the bodies. Even the date when Krishna entered the body of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata is also given. Not the day when he actually appeared outside, but the day when he actually entered into the bodies of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata is given. In the month of January, in the year 1406 of the Shaka era, Bengali year 1406, or the English calendar 1485 AD. So he entered into the bodies. Krishna Shish. Oh.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his birth in the year 1407, Shaka era, AD 1486, the month of Falguna. But here we see that he entered the bodies of his parents in the year 1406, in the month of Magha. Therefore, the Lord entered the bodies of his parents 13 full months before his birth. Generally, a common child remains within the womb of his mother for 10 lunar months. But here we see that the Lord remained within the body of his mother for 13 months.
Yes. So generally when we calculate in modern day, we say 9 months and 1 week, isn't it? That comes to 40 weeks. The mother is pregnant, and then after 40 weeks, the child is supposed to take birth. And if it doesn't come in 1 or 2 weeks, then they force the child to come out. That's the system outside. But so here it is said generally the child comes after 10 months. 10 months means it's actually counted as 4. You take 4 weeks as 1 month, then it will come to 10 months. So we are not counting 31 days and 30 days, not like that. Exactly 4 weeks, 28 days. If you count that as 1 month, then it is 10 months, right? 40 weeks is 10 months. So normally the child comes after 40 months, normally. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came after 13 full months. That means 3 more months, 12 weeks more. That means he came after 52 weeks. He stayed in his mother's womb for 52 weeks. That's how many there are in a year. Yeah. So 1 full year. 1 full year. But according to, 13 months, it is said 13 months. Because months we are counting as 4 weeks, like that. So 13 months. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's actual appearance was 1407 Shaka era, or you say AD 1486 he actually appeared, but he entered into the bodies in 1485. And he was born in Falguna, but he entered into the bodies in Magha, that is January. Okay, next. मिश्र को है सची स्थाने देखी आना रीता ज्योतिर्मय देह गेह लक्ष्मी अधिष्ठिता. Madhava.
The Lord Krishna such as Satyamata. I see wonderful things. Their bodies are thousand, and it appears as if the goddess of fortune were now staying personally in my home.
Yes. So Jagannath Mishra is saying to Sachimata. In Krishna book also we see when Vasudev, Vasudev of course is noticing, but everyone else was also noticing. So Devaki, when Mother Devaki became pregnant with Krishna, it is said like there's fire inside a pot, like that. So inside the prison cell, everything was effulgent, because now she was carrying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Same thing here. Sachimata, when she became pregnant, Jagannath Mishra is telling her, I see wonderful things. Your body is effulgent, and it appears as if the goddess of fortune were now staying personally in my home. Right? It's like, imagine if the sun came inside your room, what would it look like? And who is this sun in comparison to Krishna? Right? So that's how effulgent it was. So Jagannath Mishra is saying, I'm seeing wonderful things. You're so effulgent. It's as if Lakshmi Devi is personally in my home. Jaha taha sarvaloka koraye samman ghare pathaiya deya dhana vastra dhan. Rasapriya.
And anywhere and everywhere I go, all people offer me respect, even without my asking. They voluntarily give me riches, clothing, and guidance.
Further, Jagannath Mishra is telling Sachimata, I'm seeing wonderful things. One thing is your body is so effulgent, and my home, it looks like Lakshmi Devi is in my home. In what sense? Effulgence, of course, but also wherever I go, anywhere and everywhere I go, all people are offering me respect. Like, this is more than usual. Normally it's different, but now every single person, whether they know me or not, they just come and they bow down before me. And I don't even ask them for any charity because he's a Brahmana, but I don't even ask them. Without even asking, they voluntarily give me riches, right? They're giving wealth, gifts, clothes, and grain without even asking. They're coming and giving, like you would take to the temple, right? You don't nobody has to ask in the temple, oh, can you get some rice for the deity? No, devotees, they just go to the temple, they bring fruits, they bring butter, they bring, atta, rice, like that. So like that, they were giving Jagannath Mishra. And without his asking, everyone is bringing him gifts. They're giving cloth, they're giving grains and riches, like that. Radhika Kasturi Mataji, you can read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances.
My
All
humble
glories to
obeisances to
Srila
you.
Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada Mataji.
A Brahmana does not become anyone's servant. To render service to someone is the business of the Shudras. A Brahmana is always independent because he is a teacher, spiritual master, and an advisor to society. The members of the society provide him with all necessities of life. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says he has divided the society into 4 divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. A society cannot run smoothly without this scientific division. A Brahmana should give good advice to the members of the society. A Brahmana should give good advice to the members of the society. A Kshatriya should look after the administration, maintaining law and order in the society. Vaishyas should produce and trade to meet all the needs of the society. Whereas Shudras should render service to the higher sections of the societies, that is the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas.
Okay, Mataji. Maybe Priyanka Mataji can read. Thank you. I didn't see you, Priyanka Mataji. Go ahead. The last paragraph.
Mataji, you forgot me actually.
I saw. I didn't see you. I know. I forgot. I thought you were not there today.
No,
Sorry.
I meant to say you actually forgot me. Sorry,
Mean-
Mataji. I'll explain it later.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Jagannath Mishra was a Brahmana. Therefore, people would send him all bodily necessities: money, clothes, grain, and so on. While Lord Chaitanya was in the womb of Sachi Mata, Jagannath Mishra received all these necessities of life without asking for them. Because of the presence of the Lord in his family, everyone offered him due respect as Brahmana. In other words, if a Brahmana or a Vaishnava sticks to his position as an eternal servant of the Lord and executes the will of the Lord, there is no question of scarcity for his personal maintenance or the needs of his family.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So Jagannath Mishra is getting gifts. So what is Srila Prabhupada explaining? A Brahmana does not become anyone's servant. Like a Brahmana does not go and take up a job to work for someone else and then he gets paid for his work. No, he does not become anyone's servant. To render service to someone else is the business of the Shudras. That is why it is said, Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everyone is born a Shudra, and everyone, in order to earn his livelihood, he has to go and take up a job, isn't it? A Brahmana is always independent because he is a teacher, spiritual master, and advisor to society. Also, teacher does not mean he will charge a fee and by that he's actually getting his livelihood. He doesn't charge like this. They bring whatever they bring, he will take, and if somebody doesn't bring, he will still give knowledge. So a Brahmana is always independent because he is a teacher, spiritual master, and advisor to society. The members of society provide him with all the necessities of life. Yeah, and in exchange, for him to survive, he will need food, he will need a shelter, right? So whatever his necessities, it will be provided by the society. If he is actually giving some valuable service which is useful for others, why the society will not maintain him? Besides, a Brahmana lives a simple life. He is not extravagant. We saw the other day, Tukaramji. So he just lives. So why the society will not? They will be more than happy to maintain a Brahmana. So the members of the society provide him with all the necessities of life. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says he has divided society into 4 divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. This is what we were discussing this morning. A society cannot run smoothly without this scientific division. This is Krishna's system. Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Krishna has created this system. This is not an artificial system. And Srila Prabhupada is saying a society cannot run smoothly without this scientific division. It is essential. A Brahmana should give good advice to all the members of society. And Brahmana also does not give whimsically. He will only, what is the duty of a Brahmana? Patan, he studies whatever is there in the Shastra and he takes initiation. He studies from the predecessors, from the Guru and from the Shastra, and he will teach the same thing. A Brahmana should give good advice to all the members of society. A Kshatriya should look after the administration. Yes, so Kshatriya should be guided by a Brahmana how to rule. And Kshatriya actually carries out, he is the Lord, right? But he works under a Brahmana. He has a Guru. We will see always there's a Kul Guru. For every king, there will be one priest, one master, spiritual master. So a Kshatriya should look after the administration, maintaining law and order in society. So Kshatriya gives protection to human beings and Vaishya gives protection to the cows. Vaishyas should produce and trade to meet all the needs of society, whereas Shudras should render service to the higher sections of society, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. That is the Varnashram system. Jagannath Mishra was a Brahmana, therefore people would send him all bodily necessities, money, cloth, grain, and so on. While Lord Chaitanya was in the womb of Sachimata, Jagannath Mishra received all these necessities of life without even asking for them. Normally, a Brahmana would go door to door, ask for charity, but this time, without even asking, he was getting. Because of the presence of the Lord in his family, everyone offered him due respect as a Brahmana. In other words, if a Brahmana or Vaishnava sticks to his position as an eternal servant of the Lord and executes the will of the Lord, there is no question of scarcity for his personal maintenance or needs of his family. So we will see this later on in Caitanya Charitamrita, in the case of Mrigari, the hunter. When he, on the instruction of Narad Muni, when he actually stopped hunting and he became a Vaishnava, people were bringing so much. He had to tell Narad Muni, don't send me so much, there's too much food, there's only two of us, so much what we will do, don't send so much. That means yoga kshemam vahamyaham. If you become Ananya Bhakta, Krishna assures, I will give you whatever you need, you don't have to worry. So we see that in the case of Jagannath Mishra. If a Brahmana actually becomes a Vaishnava, he doesn't have to worry about his maintenance. So I will stop there. So Mataji, Priyanka Mataji, how did I forget you? You're there?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Um,
Can I tell it
Later?
personally?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much for joining tonight. So tomorrow is Saturday. There's a program tomorrow. So we will not have Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. Yeah, I don't think we'll be back by 7 o'clock. So we will not have tomorrow Chaitanya Bhagavat reading.
In temple, Mataji?
No. Arya Prabhu's house.
Oh.
His mother-in-law, father-in-law's, I think, their birthday. They're really old, and he did it last year, and he's doing it again this year. So he called.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Mataji, are you going to the temple tomorrow?
Yeah, morning. I have class.
Okay, we won't be able to see it online though, right?
No, Mataji. Krishna house is not online. Online, you have another class. Acharya Prabhu will be giving on Zoom.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.